Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. So I am in verse 3 of Psalm 40 right now, and I have discovered just a beautiful thing in the first 3 verses of this psalm. What I really see as a redemption story. 2 kinds of redemption, actually. We'll talk about that in a minute. Psalm 40, verses 1 through 3 goes like this. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. I want to point out to you the 2 kinds of redemption that I see happening in those verses. The first has to do with us. I don't know, well, I imagine you probably can relate to the psalmist. There are probably times in all of our lives when each of us feels like we're in a slimy pit, in the mud and mire. And we stand there and we cry out to God and we wait for Him to rescue us. And just like He did for the psalmist, He does for us. Got a text message. I'll have to check that out in a minute. Anyway, God lifts us out of the slimy pit, and then He gives us a safe place to stand, a firm foundation where we can be secure, no longer lost in the slime, the hopelessness, the fear. But He doesn't stop there. The psalmist goes on to say in verse 3, He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. And I just love that picture of the way God redeems us, taking us out of our pit, bringing us to safety, and making us new inside. I mean, if you're feeling scared and hopeless inside, your song is going to be more like, woe is me. But God gives us a new song. He allows us to sing a song, a hymn of praise to Him. And that's a beautiful thing, but it doesn't end there. The last part of verse 3 says, many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. And what are they seeing? Except the psalmist, you and I, being picked up out of that pit, brought to safety, and made new. When people see that in us, it makes a difference. God uses it to make a difference in the lives of people. He uses it to bring more people to Himself. Now, I honestly cannot say I've ever been excited or happy or joyful about going through trials, about being in a pit. But when I think of God using my story to make a difference in somebody else's life, I can honestly say I have joy there. And I imagine the same is true for you. When God uses the trial that you're facing, the pain that you're experiencing, when He allows somebody else to see what you're going through, to hear your story, and as a result of what you faced, they grow stronger in their faith, isn't that beautiful? Doesn't that kind of make it all worth it in the end? It does to me. And I hope just the thought of what God does in you and through you, redeeming you to redeem others, I pray that will bring joy to your heart today. Have a wonderful, Jesus-full day.